On June 7, 1971, the world watched in awe as 3 cosmonauts were launched into space. Having said goodbyes to loved ones and foes alike, it was indeed farewell forever as they returned, but with gloom. Just their bodies remained. Their spirits were lost forever to space and time. How did the tale of technological triumph turn into a cosmic tragedy? What other secrets lie concealed in the darkness of space? Join us as we look closely into the rocket that landed with 3 skeletons. A look into the past in 1971, the first decade of human spaceflight concluded with ambitious Soviet plans not only to reach the moon, but to establish a lunar colony. Soviet engineers meticulously crafted plans for a long-duration lunar base, complete with habitation modules, lunar rovers, and power plants. As part of this vision, they aimed to launch an orbital space station to serve as a scientific outpost and a launch pad for missions to both the Moon and Mars. On April 19, 1971, the Soviet Union successfully launched the Salyut space station from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Soviet Kazakhstan. The station, measuring 43 feet in length and weighing 40,620 pounds, boasted 3,500 cubic feet of habitable space. It housed living quarters for cosmonauts and accommodated 2,600 pounds of scientific equipment, including experiments focused on human adaptation to prolonged space travel, various telescopes for solar and astronomical observations, and instruments for Earth observation. To maintain their physical health in the microgravity environment, crew members utilized a treadmill and elastic bands for muscle toning. Additionally, they wore specialized suits that provided constant resistance to major muscle groups. The station's amenities included a refrigerator and a food warmer, allowing for a broader menu selection compared to earlier Soviet spacecraft. The first attempt to dock with Salyut, undertaken by the crew of Soyuz 10 on April 23, encountered a problem with the docking mechanism, forcing the crew to return to Earth after just 2 days. Promptly, Soviet engineers rectified the issue and refined docking procedures to prevent a recurrence of the problem. The subsequent crew, consisting of Alexei A., Leonov, Valery N., Kubasov, and Pyotr I. Kaledin, trained for a planned 25-day mission to Salyut, scheduled to commence on June 6. However, days before the launch, a dark spot on Kubasov's chest X-ray raised concerns about tuberculosis. Despite later overturning this diagnosis, flight surgeons grounded Kubasov, prompting the replacement of the entire crew with backups Georgy T. Dobrovolsky, Vladislav N. Volkov, and Viktor I. Patsayev. On June 6, 1971, Soyuz 11, carrying the replacement crew, launched successfully from the Baikonur Cosmodrome. The crew executed maneuvers to rendezvous with Salyut, ultimately docking with the space station after 3 hours and 19 minutes. They spent 22 days aboard, establishing space endurance records that endured until the American Skylab 2 mission in 1973. The launch was a stirring sight, evoking pride and stirring emotions as onlookers watched the spacecraft vanish into the vast expanse of the azure sky. A blazing trail marked its passage, a testament to the indomitable courage and daring of the human spirit. Once in orbit, Soyuz 11 commenced its journey towards the Salyut station. The rendezvous with the space station was meticulously planned and flawlessly executed, a feat of precision engineering. The docking itself was a moment of triumph for the Soviets, marking the first successful manned spacecraft docking with an orbital station. The euphoria was palpable as the world witnessed history in the making. Inside the Salyut station, the cosmonauts diligently embarked on their tasks, paving the way for future space missions. They conducted experiments to study the effects of prolonged space exposure on the human body, pushing the boundaries of scientific knowledge. In their communications with ground control, the cosmonauts shared their experiences with a mix of wonder, pride, and a deep sense of duty. Their voices resonated with vivid descriptions of Earth, a radiant blue orb suspended in the cosmic void, inspiring awe and reverence in those who listened. With so much time invested in this space adventure, it should have been a success. But life is unpredictable and we can only learn from the past, what we did do wrong. How can we do it better and differently? Aboard the Soyuz 11, Life in space. Life aboard Soyuz 11 presented a paradoxical experience, wherein the crew found themselves amidst both spectacular views and stark isolation. Surrounded by the dark infinity of space, they were intermittently greeted by the dazzling brilliance of distant stars. Below them, the beauty of the blue planet Earth, their home, provided a sight that few humans have ever witnessed. These men lived among the stars, yet they were simultaneously distanced from everything familiar and comforting. Their existence was confined within the metallic structure of Soyuz 11 and the connected Salyut space station. The day following the launch, Dobrovolsky piloted Soyuz 11 towards Salyut, executing a flawless manual docking procedure. After 3 hours, once the pressures inside both Soyuz and Salyut were balanced, the crew cautiously opened the hatch, allowing Patsayev to gracefully float into the confines of the world's inaugural space station. Detecting a pungent odor permeating the interior of Salyut, he promptly returned to Soyuz. Cosmonaut Alexei S. Yeliseyev, stationed as the crew communicator at the Flight Control Center in Yevpatoria, Crimea, advised the crew to activate the station's air regenerators. Unfortunately, 6 out of the 8 fans within this crucial system had malfunctioned shortly after Salyut's launch. With prompt action, Patsayev and Volkov swiftly conducted repairs, ensuring the system's functionality, before rejoining Dobrovolsky aboard Soyuz to await the dissipation of the noxious fumes within Salyut. On the subsequent day, the crew re-entered Salyut to initiate its operational systems, subsequently powering down their Soyuz craft, as it was not required until the conclusion of their mission. Each cosmonaut on board Soyuz 11 was entrusted with specific responsibilities crucial to the success of the mission. Georgy Dobrovolsky, serving as the mission commander, orchestrated the crew's activities, ensured the seamless functioning of the spacecraft, and maintained vital communication with ground control. Viktor Patsayev, as the flight engineer, oversaw the execution of numerous scientific experiments, particularly those on medical and biological research. Meanwhile, Vladislav Volkov, another flight engineer and seasoned space veteran from his time on Soyuz 7, assumed the role of chief conductor for onboard operations and maintenance. The cosmonauts adhered to a meticulously structured and disciplined daily routine dictated by the exigencies of their mission. Their schedule encompassed rigorous maintenance tasks for the spacecraft, the execution of planned experiments, meticulous recording of observations, and scheduled communication sessions with ground stations. Despite the demanding workload, the crew displayed remarkable adaptability to the conditions of microgravity and the challenges of life in space. Letters penned by the cosmonauts to their families back on Earth depicted their unwavering enthusiasm and sense of duty towards their mission. Beyond its technical objectives, the mission embodied a profound human endeavor, characterized by moments of joy, excitement, camaraderie, and longing. Laughter reverberated through communication channels shared between the crew and ground control, and the crew even engaged in the historic pastime of playing chess, a spectacle broadcast to millions on Earth. Nevertheless, life aboard Soyuz 11 was not devoid of challenges. The isolation and stress inherent in their vital mission imposed a heavy toll on the crew. Limited living space, lack of privacy. In the vast expanse of space, physical discomfort served as constant reminders of their precarious situation. Yet, they faced these adversities with courage and resilience, qualities intrinsic to explorers venturing into the unknown. Living in space presented a myriad of unexpected challenges. Simple tasks like eating, sleeping, and personal hygiene took on new complexities in the absence of gravity, necessitating adaptability and ingenuity. Moreover, the cosmonauts were privileged with awe-inspiring views of Earth from their unique vantage point, evoking profound feelings of wonder and homesickness. Over the ensuing 3 weeks, the trio of cosmonauts established a routine centered around conducting experiments, engaging in exercise sessions on the station's onboard treadmill, and diligently monitoring their health statuses. To optimize research time, the crew adopted a system of sleeping in shifts, ensuring that at least one cosmonaut remained awake and active at all times. However, Soviet scientists later assessed that the continuous round-the-clock operations led to suboptimal performance among the cosmonauts due to sleep interference. Within the confines of the Oasis, one plant growth facility, they cultivated Chinese cabbage and onions, while Patsayev achieved a milestone by operating the first-ever space telescope, the Orion, one ultraviolet instrument. Utilizing innovative equipment like the Veeder device, which later evolved into the Chibis apparatus, they assessed their cardiovascular health. Alongside periodic evaluations of pulmonary function and blood sample collections for subsequent analysis. The cosmonauts generously treated Soviet citizens to frequent television broadcasts detailing their activities aboard the Salyut, providing insights into both their scientific endeavors and daily routines in space. These broadcasts, labeled as Cosmovision by Soviet journalists, offered a unique glimpse into life aboard the space station. Additionally, they made history by casting their votes from Salyut during Soviet elections, marking the inaugural instance of voting from space. On June 16th, an incident occurred wherein the crew responded to a minor smoldering electrical fire at the rear of the station, a matter not initially disclosed to the public. Despite successfully extinguishing the fire, the resulting smoke temporarily raised concerns about the mission's continuation. Nevertheless, the station's air revitalization system effectively purified the atmosphere, allowing the mission to proceed as planned. June 19th marked Patsayev's 38th birthday, making him the first person to celebrate a birthday in space. His fellow cosmonauts, Dobrovolsky and Volkov, commemorated the occasion by presenting him with an onion and a lemon, smuggled aboard their Soyuz 11 spacecraft. 5 days later, they surpassed the previous 18-day human spaceflight endurance record set by the Soyuz 9 crew in June 1970, earning congratulations from Soyuz 9 cosmonaut Andriy G. Nikolaev, who served as spacecraft communicator. In the ensuing days, Dobrovolsky, Volkov, and Patsayev commenced preparations for their return to Earth, including the necessary arrangements to transition Salyut into a period of automated operations. Unseen disaster, the fatal error on the evening of June 29th, the team turned on their Soyuz spaceship again. They packed up film and samples to bring back to Earth, then shut the door between Salyut and their return spaceship. A light on the control panel showed that the door to their descent part hadn't closed tightly. Yeliseyev guided the team on what to do to open the door again and clean its edges in case something was blocking it from closing properly. Even though the light stayed on, both ground control and the team believed the door was shut properly. So, the astronauts disconnected their Soyuz from Salyut and flew around it, taking videos and pictures of the space station, which had been their home for over 3 weeks. The unexpected tragedy that marks Soyuz 11 as one of the saddest events in space history happened quietly in space. After 23 days of hard work and exciting discoveries, everything suddenly stopped on June 30th, 1971. There was no big explosion or dramatic accident, just a silent mistake. Apart from the Soviet postage stamp mentioned, postage stamps commemorating the cosmonauts were also issued by the Emirate of Oman and Bulgaria in 1971. Thanks for watching. Check out another interesting video by clicking on the link appearing on your screen right now. See you on the other side.